Greetings and welcome back to the Manifested e-learning platform. Today we are going to study the appointment and the vacation of office of the company secretary. Appointment and vacation of office of the secretary. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the procedure for the appointment and vacation of the office of the secretary. Because for one to be appointed as a company secretary, there is a certain procedure that must be followed. The same applies to when one vacates that office. And this appointment and the vacation is primarily governed by the Companies Act of 2015, particularly Part 7 of the Act. And it is a formal legal process that must be reported to the Registrar of Companies in order to maintain the company's legal standing. That means after every appointment, then that appointment must be reported to the Registrar of Companies. Then if a secretary vacates office, that vacation also has to be reported to the Registrar of Companies. So these are two things: appointment and vacation of office. So let's begin with appointment. What is the process of appointing a company secretary? It is a legal process. So what is this process? So candidates, first of all, in Kenya, the power to appoint a company secretary is typically vested in the board of directors, unless the Articles of Association states otherwise. Board of directors. And it's important as you begin to note that this appointment may be mandatory or optional. For public companies, the appointment is mandatory. Right? Mandatory versus optional. So I'm stating here, one, public companies. The appointment is mandatory. Public companies are legally required to have at least one secretary who must be a natural person. Then number two, we have private companies. For private companies, it's not mandatory unless, unless the paid up capital is 5 million Kenya shillings or more. So private companies are only required to have a secretary if their paid up capital is 5 million Kenya shillings or more. That is the condition. If the paid up capital, Kenya shillings, 5 million or more. But if it is less than 5 million, then it's not mandatory. For smaller private companies, the role is optional. The role is optional. For smaller companies, the role is optional. So first of all, we need to understand that public companies, all public companies must have at least one or two, okay? It must have one secretary, at least one secretary, at least one. It could be 2 or 3 or 4. At least a public company must have. It's mandatory. For private companies, it's only mandatory to have a company secretary if the paid up capital is 5 million shillings or more. If it is less, then it's optional. You understand? So that's the first important point when it comes to appointment. That distinction is very important. Then we come to the procedure. What is the procedure for appointment? If it is a public company or a private company whose paid up capital is 5 million shillings or more, what procedure has to be followed? Step number 1 is selection. Selection. Here, I say that it is the role of the board. The appointment is the work, the responsibility of the board. So the board has to select. The individual has to be selected by the board, because he said that the company secretary must be a natural person, a human being, not a firm. No, it has to be a natural person. So the board has to select the natural person. The board identifies a qualified candidate who must be registered a member of the Institute of Certified Secretaries. So this has to be a member. The one we selected must be a member of Institute of Certified Secretaries. Must be a member of the Institute of Certified Secretaries with a valid practicing certificate. This individual must have a valid practicing certificate. Valid practicing certificate. So that's where it begins. That's where the procedure begins. The process begins, first of all, by selecting a member, a natural person, who is a member of the Institute of Certified Secretaries, and this individual must have a valid practicing certificate. That's number 1. Then, having selected this natural person, the natural person in step number 2 must consent. This is number 1, selection. Then number 2, consent. Consent. The individual must provide written consent to act as a secretary. Written consent. This consent must be written. Because you may be selected, but you are not willing to act as a company secretary. Or you may be willing to act as a company secretary. For you to demonstrate the willingness, then you have to have a written consent. You must provide a written consent to act as it. Then step number 3 is board resolution. The board must make a decision. The directors, after receiving the written consent, these directors meet and pass a formal resolution to appoint the secretary, outlining their terms of service and remuneration. They must pass a resolution, and in this resolution, they have to indicate the terms of service and remuneration. After the secretary submits a written consent, the board meets and resolves to have the secretary formally appointed, and within this resolution is the terms of service and the remuneration of the company secretary. Then number 4, registration. Registration. The appointment must be filed with the Business Registration Service via the eCitizen portal within 14 days. Right? business registration service. This registration is done with the business registration service at the eCitizen portal within 14 days. After the board resolves to appoint this individual, then filing must be done with the business registration service at the eCitizen portal within a period of 14 days. So that is how a company secretary is appointed. That is appointment. Now let's move to vacation of office. Vacation. If a company secretary is appointed, then the company secretary may also be sent away or may leave office or cease to act as a company secretary. Vacation means cessation. Vacation of office refers to the circumstances under which a secretary stops serving the company. And this can be voluntary, it could be involuntary, or it could be by an operation of law. So the company secretary may voluntarily resign, or the board may pass a resolution against his will to make the company secretary cease to operate as a company secretary. It can be voluntary, involuntary, or by operation of law. So here, first of all, we are saying this is cessation. It means cessation. To cease, to stop. Under what circumstances can the company secretary cease to operate or to work as a company secretary? It could be voluntary, involuntary, or by operation. So first of all, we have voluntary. Voluntary resignation. So the company secretary may voluntarily resign. A company secretary may resign by giving formal written notice to the board. The board must then meet to formally accept the resignation and record this in the minutes. So after the company secretary tenders resignation, the board has to meet and formally accept the resignation and have it minuted. That's the procedure when the secretary voluntarily resigns. Then there is also removal by board. This is involuntary. Removal by the board. Because it is the board that appoints, the board can also remove the company secretary. And unlike directors, who often require shareholder intervention, a secretary can usually be removed by a board resolution. But you cannot do the same when it comes to the directors. The directors, the board, the shareholders must be involved. And while the board has the power to remove a secretary, they must still adhere to the terms of the employment contract in order to avoid wrongful dismissal. You understand? The board which appoints the company secretary can again remove the company secretary through a board resolution. And while on it, we are saying the board has to be very careful so that there are no wrongful dismissal claims from the company secretary, for that can heavily cost the company. So this is another ground for cessation. Then we have other grounds for vacation. Other grounds. What are the other grounds that may lead to the vacation of office of a company secretary? We've seen voluntary resignation, removal by the board, but we have other grounds like death or incapacity. Death or incapacity. In the event that the company secretary dies, then the office becomes vacant automatically. The office becomes vacant automatically upon the death or mental or physical incapacity of the secretary. Number 2, bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. A person who is declared bankrupt is disqualified from serving as an officer of a company. Understand? Yes. That is how to deal with vacation or cessation of office of the secretary. Understand? And that is what we are required to cover in our today's lesson. This is topic number 2, subtopic 7, appointment and vacation of office of the secretary. 2 things. Appointment, we've seen how the company secretary is appointed. So when discussing the appointment of a company secretary candidate, understand that it can be mandatory or optional. The appointment of a company secretary is only mandatory for public companies or private companies whose paid up capital is more than 5 million Kenya shillings. And the procedure for appointment begins by selection. It is the board of directors that is vested with the responsibility to appoint company secretaries. And it begins by selection. The board selects a natural person, a company secretary who is a natural person, a human being who must be a member of the Institute of Certified Secretaries and who is in possession of a valid practicing certificate. So after the selection, the natural person is informed of the selection, this human being, who is then required to consent in writing, must submit a written consent to the board. After receiving the written consent, the board has to sit and pass a resolution to formally appoint the company secretary. And in this appointment letter, the board has to state the terms of service and the remuneration. After which, the registration has to be done with the Business Registration Service at the e-Citizen portal within a period of 14 days. That is how to appoint a company secretary. Then there is also the vacation or cessation. One who is appointed may also cease to work as a company secretary, which can be through voluntary resignation or removal by the board or other grounds like death and incapacity or bankruptcy. You understand? Yes, that's the end of today's lesson on appointment, vacation of office of the secretary. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.